kindness, compassion, and understanding. I'm Tonetta Clay, so welcome to my channel here. I'm the social worker coach. So again, welcome to the channel. And like I said, this video is all about the way we talk to ourselves and how we treat ourselves and how we have to start treating ourselves rather with kindness, compassion, and understanding. Before I get started, make sure that you, of course, subscribe to the channel, especially if there's something that you want to hear. And of course, feel free to share this out with others too. I always say if you know somebody else that may need this, or just share them to your timelines on your social media, wherever you have social media at, definitely feel free to share. So again, make sure that you subscribe. And this video today is talking about treating ourselves better, treating ourselves well with kindness, understanding, and compassion. I know a lot of times, of course, we all know that Rome was not built in a day. I know people say that as a little quote or that kind of thing, just to let us know, remind us that nothing was built in one day, 1 year, 5 years, 10, well maybe 10 years, but 5 or 10 years, but just know that nothing is built in a day. Nothing is built in a week, and that nothing that I'm talking about how you have all these desires to do this business or to do, I don't know, have this relationship or move to another place or whatever it is. But just know that it did not happen in one day. You have to plan for those things. You have to figure out the steps to get there. I guess I put it that way. Sometimes it can take a while, sometimes it doesn't. But just know that it's not going to be a quick process, is what I'm trying to say here. Anything that we do is not going to be a quick process. I don't care if it's healing, I don't care if it's like find another job, whatever it is, it's not going to be a quick process. You have to take the steps, you have to figure out how to get to that from point A to point B to point Z. And along the way, I know that we can get, of course, because I get frustrated. I didn't get this done. I didn't have this done today, or I didn't have this done yesterday, and now I got to do it over, or something messed up, or I failed at this, or whatever it was. I have the same feelings as you have as well. But we have got to know that we don't have to put ourselves down and, oh, I'm dumb, which I've said that to myself too. I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I don't know what I'm doing, I'll never have this, I'll never have that, this is never going to happen in my life. I've said those things. And I'm sure you can relate to that as well. But we have to know that, but then no matter what is going on, we have to always try to treat ourselves with kindness, compassion, and understanding, knowing for one that Rome was not built in a day, knowing for two that our thoughts create the reality for us. We know those, well, deep down, I'm sure we all know those things. Whether we act on it is a totally different story, but we know those things deep down. And like I said, we have to remember that regardless as to what kind of failures we have, regardless as to what kind of things we did not do, we shoulda, woulda, couldas, all these kind of things, you don't have to beat yourself up about it. Just know that I'm not the only one that, of course, have thought negative thoughts or that kind of thing. I'm sure everybody in this whole world has. If they tell you they hadn't, then they lying to you. I can tell you that already. But just know we don't have to beat ourselves up so much where we get depressed or we get suicidal. I've been there. Just know that we can always change our thinking around, y'all. We have to interject and stop that whatever thinking that is going on. We have to interject and stop that negative thinking. Yes, in the moment that is happening, and start saying something positive to ourselves. We don't have to, oh, I'm dumb because I didn't get this done today, or my boss thought I was stupid and all this kind of stuff. They probably didn't even say that. You may have felt that way, but they probably didn't even say that, I'm sure. And like I said, we have to remember those things. Rome was not built in a day, and neither is your life going to be built in one day. Whatever age you are now, you had all these days from birth to work up to where you are now. I'm sure you have more days to work up until you die as well. And you still have more work to do in between. I know there was a poem called The Dash. I don't remember exactly what it said or exactly how it went or that kind of thing, but it was mainly talking about of course, the day that you were born and the day, of course, that you die, and how in between those days we have a dash. And we have all these things to complete, to do, to the experiences that we have, the failures that we have, the love that we have, the relationships that we have. We have all those things to, of course, think about and to, of course, work on while we're here on earth. But the gist of the poem was talking about how do you want to be, what is your dash and what are you going to be known for when you do pass away? What regrets do you have that you want to work on and that you want to fix and solve before you leave this earth? That's what that was talking about, but it still puts in my mind that that dash is very important, that we have to make sure that we're living that dash in some type of way that's meaningful to us, that's creating happiness for us, that's creating fulfillment for us, And that's creating hope for us as well. And that's going to take you to be compassionate, kind, and understanding to yourself as well. Not beat yourself down every time something happens that you didn't plan for. God may have planned for it, you just didn't plan for it. Sometimes those things come into our life. I can't say sometimes, most of the time. They cut those bad things we call bad or negative things that happen to us when we're on our path and on our journeys. Those things happen to us to teach us a lesson in some type of way. They always do. In my eyes, they always do. At least that's my story. Even though at the time I could not see the lessons that things were teaching me, I see it now. But I didn't see it in the midst of the chaos. I didn't see it then, no. But if you look back on your life and try to figure out what things I guess whatever things you said went wrong in your life, and what lessons may have came out of those, whether that lesson was to remind you that you need to be more consistent with stuff, whether that lesson reminded you that you cannot just keep saying stuff to people and expect for people to like you and love you. You have to learn how to speak from a loving place. Whether that lesson was trying to teach you that procrastination is never a good thing. If you keep procrastinating, I'm giving that gift to somebody else and that business to somebody else while you taking all this time. Whatever that lesson was trying to teach you, you have to apply it to your life as well. While you may have had a failure, while I may have had many failures, that does not mean that I cannot still succeed in the future. It does not mean that at all. But I beat myself up sometimes, or I'm never going to have this because this ain't working right, this ain't going right, all this kind of stuff. Like I said, I had to stop my thoughts as well, as much as I could. No, I'm not perfect like anybody else, and you're not perfect either. Sometimes we're going to have a slip up. And I know lately I've definitely had a slip up. So that's why I'm bringing this video to y'all today, just to remind you all that you have to treat yourself with kindness, compassion, and understanding, y'all. Again, Rome was not built in a day, but you have to love yourself enough to, like I said, to know that your mistakes are your mistakes is fine, and that everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has a failure. Everybody has a failed relationship, whatever it is. Just know that that's going to happen in everybody's life, including you and including me. Nobody is perfect, so just keep that in your head. And when those hard times come, just remind yourself to be kind to yourself, to love on yourself, to do more self-care, and to reflect on whatever those lessons were and apply them to your life moving forward, y'all. You don't have to stay in the depressed mode and the suicidal mode. I was there, like I said, a few times in my life where I was so upset that this didn't happen, that didn't happen. I didn't see anything good coming out of my life at that point, so I wanted to end things. I had to be the one to pick myself out of that. Yes, folks were praying and that kind of thing, which was definitely well and good, but I still had to do the work to pull myself up out of those things. I guess out of that trench, I guess I put it that way. So like I said, just make sure, like I said, this video is all about treating yourself with kindness, compassion, and understanding. And understanding. So like I said, make sure that you go throughout your day and just remind yourself that those are the words that you need to use to, I guess, in order to treat yourself. Treat yourself well, y'all. Don't treat yourself bad. Nothing comes out of that treating yourself bad but a negative life and, of course, more depression, more anxiety, or whatever it's going to be for you. Your relationships are going to plummet, all types of things. Treat yourself good, y'all. If you don't treat yourself good, nobody else is going to treat you good either. So with that, y'all, I want to say thank you again. This is Tonetta Clay, your social worker coach. So like I said, I definitely want to thank you all for tuning in. And please make sure that if this video is something that you want to hear or content around this, I guess I put it that way, when it comes to self-improvement, relationships, like I said, and mindset, make sure that you, of course, subscribe to the channel here. And click that notification bell to receive all the videos that upload from here on out. If you ain't seen the other ones, go check them out too, as I always say. So with that, y'all, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, evening, night, whatever time you're looking at this. Peace out.